Ryan here with RCG Diesel and Equipment. We got a service call for 911. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. So they say they need 20 gallons of fuel delivered. It needs to be primed up and it needs a jump start. So they need RCG to swoop in, fix them up, and that's what we're gonna do. So here's what we got. We got our jumper cables on here. We checked it with the meter. It only had 7 volts. All right, so we just put 20 gallons in there. That's diesel in that tank, not unleaded. All right, guys, she's alive. Running in there. So what we did, pretty easy. We just filled it up with fuel. It didn't even lose prime. He didn't even run out of fuel. He just got low batteries. He's got probably one dead battery, or he left his inverter on or something like that. Not for sure. Easy money. 2-hour service call, some fuel. Huh. This company has 600 trucks nationwide. You know, it's kind of good to know these guys. Treat them right. Maybe they'll treat you right. Maybe not. We're going to head on to our next job. You got to stick around. Here you go, guys. This is what we're working on. We got an RV, obviously. They decided to hire a pressure washing crew the same time I came here to fix it. It's kind of part of this deal sometimes. Whatever. We got our high quality buckets. Get this coolant drain. We're under the RV right now. This is a Cummins motor. See all the Kool-Aid everywhere. So we got to drain this coolant. So we got right here, we got a little twisty tube, butterfly valve looking thing. We're going to put a little crescent wrench on here, break it loose, start draining the coolant. We're going to pop this cap loose so the coolant drains out a little bit easier. So whenever you're working underneath these RVs, you got to be really, really careful. You see these landing legs right here? You got one right there, one over there. The machine's off the ground right now. If this sucker drops while you're underneath it, it will crush you and you will die. Guys, so here's what we got. I got a little snap-on bag here that I use to put all my tools in. When you're working on an RV, it makes it real nice. You don't have to go back and forth for your tools. Got me a little hand towel in here. Got the new hose. Got my ratchet. Got a little pick. Got our Vaseline for our new hose. Got some sandpaper for the pipe. And a quarter drive ratchet set. We're in the RV. We're going in through the master floor and get to the engine. This is a coolant hose right here, the one we're going to be replacing. Right, yeah. So we take these 2 clamps off, top and bottom. Clean this pipe up real good. Put the new hose on. All right, we got our hose off. We got our pipe all cleaned up. So ran into a little issue here with this hose. So the hose that they gave me at the parts store was 2.5. This one seems to be 2 1/4. So we gotta go pick one of these up. We just called Napa. They got 3 feet of it in stock. They sell it by the foot. They sell it by 3 feet sticks. So we're gonna go pick one up. Part of the deal. That's what it is, guys. You just gotta go with it. You can't get all frustrated, pissed off at everybody and held all these grudges, and no, it don't work like that. If you live like that, you're gonna be a mad mofo. You just gotta roll with it. Keep the end goal in mind. We are gonna fix this RV and move on with our life. All right, something I like to do, get a little Vaseline, rub it around in there. Get it all lubed up so she goes on smooth. Gets a good sealing surface. Very nice. New hose on. So while we were in there, he told us to look around, see if there's anything else we see. So as you can see, this is the AC compressor. It's got some oil residue on it. So that means it's leaking. He said go ahead and order one, get it replaced. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. A little side job here and there, keep us going. To fill this machine up, we got a coolant hose right here. We can't really get to it to pump it in, so we ran a hose all the way over here. We had to improvise a little bit. And we got our fill neck up there. Zoom out here. You can kind of see what we're dealing with here. We're going to fill it from there. We'll travel down the hose into the radiator. Let it fill it up here. These guys are nice enough to put a little sight glass on our coolant reservoir. That looks right to me. Purr like a kitten. Dropped a little bit. That's okay. The big old rig here. He takes care of it. Another happy customer. You know, these RV guys, they're great. Keep it in mind though, whenever you're going to work on an RV owner, they're usually older gentlemen. They don't have much to do. So one, they're gonna watch you the whole time. They're gonna talk your ear off. They like to talk. So, factor that in. If they want to quote, factor in that talking time. That's just from my experience. Time is money, guys, whether they want to talk or not. It's money wasted. You could be on another job. Take what you want from that one, but that's my experience and that's how I roll. While we're in that whole mess of coolant hose and whatnots, we got a call from another guy. He's got a Freightliner broke down on the side of the road. So we're going to scooch over that way. We might stop and get some food. That'd be great. Eat a little bit on the road, and then hopefully get this Freightliner taken care of. I hope you guys are liking this stuff. It's kind of fun. It's kind of aggravating. A lot of emotions. Well, what can I say? I like saving the day. So we're on our next service call. So we got a code for turbo compressor inlet temperature circuit failed high. Active. We got another one below that. Multiplex channel 1 shorted high. Don't know what that means, but I wouldn't worry about that. So let me show you what I did here. I came over here to the air filter. That's what the code is. Basically, inlet turbo. The inlet part of the turbo. There's the inlet part of the turbo. Came over to this sensor here. There's a sensor right there. Started wiggling around. It was a little loose. When I first came over here, the code wasn't active. The truck was running fine. It was hauling ass, and I was like, wow, this thing's got a lot of power. I don't know what they're talking about. I started messing around with these codes, saw that code in there, came over here, started messing with stuff. Then the code went active. Now it won't go out. So let me show you what I found. I removed the air filter just to do a little peeky see. So, came over here and plugged this sensor. Thought it might have been the sensor. Here's the harness. Checked power. I'm supposed to have 5 volts here, something or another there, not for sure, but 5 volts. I didn't have any voltage, guys. So I know it's not the sensor, because this thing doesn't even have voltage. So I started pulling these wires back, started messing with stuff, and voila. Look at that one. Would you look at that? Wow, not my fingernails, look at the wire. The wires are all damaged. So we're gonna put butt connectors in there, fix this harness up real good, plug it back in, see if the code goes inactive. I'm pretty sure it will, but you never know. Always test your work. I don't want to have to come back to this stuff. Repaired this wire here, these 2 wires I should say. Let's go check and see if that code went out. What does that say? I can't read that. It says not activio. Wait, that's oil pressure. I looked at the wrong one. Turbocharger inlet temperature failed circuit high. Right there, there it is. Not active, guys. Where's the multiplexing bullcrap one? Oops. Right here. Multiplexer. Not active. Turbocharger inlet temperature high. Not active. It's easy, guys. Just pick you up a computer, figure out how to splice some wires, and you can do this stuff too. We just got another call. You guys got some low power. Not sure what's going on with these low power issues today, but we're gonna go take care of them. We just finished up one with the wiring. You know, that was kind of a tricky one because the code wasn't active when I first got there. I'm like, what the heck's this guy talking about? This thing run like a dream. And Detroit's a little bit sticky to work with sometimes. It's got about 1 million fault codes in there. So it's hard to pick the one that's causing the issue. We had a low coolant in there. We had a turbo one in there. We had an EGR one in there. All these crazy codes. It's like, which way do I go? Which one's going to cause the low power issue? That's the one we're chasing. Finally figured it out by just messing with stuff. Until finally something said, hey, here I am. That's how it works sometimes, guys. It works for me. Not always, but it works for me. This next job we're going to, I might get my ass kicked on it. I've been lucky today. Let the mechanic gods be with me. We'll see what happens. You know, I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching some of this stuff. A lot of it might not make sense to you, but if you keep watching, you know, you're going to see the same thing over and over. You already saw me fix some wires on a dozer. Now I'm fixing wires on a Freightliner. Pretty common. Sometimes it's a sensor. It's not always wiring. You know, you just can't overlook your wiring. That's the thing. It's easy to throw a sensor at it. Just always take a little eyeball at the wiring. Like I said, we didn't have any voltage going to that sensor, so to me it was like ding ding ding, winner winner winner. We got it no power, so that it gets its power from the ECM. So it's either ECM or wiring. I'm gonna go with wiring first, always. Don't just say ECM bad. All right, guys, we gotta make some phone calls. Well, we made a phone call and they canceled the service call. So his old man, he's the owner of the truck. He took it to another mechanic. It's not a bad thing. This other mechanic supposedly has been working on it for 3 months now. Can't figure out what's going on with it. Took it over there again, see if he can figure it out. Works for me. I'm gonna head home then. I'm gonna head to the house. This is a daily life. This is how it is. It's crazy, it's exciting. You never know what's gonna happen throughout the day. That's one of the reasons why I love it. We figured some cool stuff out today. You know, these operators are really appreciative of this stuff. You know, they give you some pats on the back and tell you the greatest thing since ever. And it's cool. Sometimes they're mad when they see their bill, but we don't work for free, guys. At least not me. You guys have a good one. We'll see you out there. Clocking out.